Hello, everyone. My name is Randy Crebs, Executive Goal Director from Salt Lake City, Utah. Uh, Tonight's training is going to be on the part two, or the continuing of the 21 laws, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. An amazing book. This is a book that I read, probably 15 years ago, and back in my aerospace days. And this is just an amazing book for people that are leaders, and anyone that has a USANA business. We're leaders. We have team, we have clients, we have associates. Even if you're getting started, you soon have people on your team. And this is a great book for showing, what the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership are. So let's recap. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. This is a quote by John C. Maxwell, the author of the 21 Irrefutable Laws. So, definitely the leader, and you're going to see that in these upcoming slides, is what these laws pertain to on leadership. So let's review. Last week, Rene and Jared covered the first 7 laws of the irrefutable laws, and number 1 of the 21 laws is the law of the lid. Basically, leadership's ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. It's that lid that a leadership's ability always determines your effectiveness and the potential impact of your organization. So basically, your leadership level or ability has a lid. So we're always working to improve or raise that lid. The law of influence. The true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. True leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned. It comes from only influence that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. And we continue to earn our leadership abilities daily. Number 3 is the law of the process. Leadership develops daily, not in a day. This is where leadership requires seasoning to be effective. If you continue to invest in your leadership development, the inevitable growth is over time. Number 4 is the law of navigation. And with that law, anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. And I see that, first-rate navigators, which I'm going to say our son Jared, always have in mind that other people are depending on them and their abilities to set the good course. We see that in all the scripts and all the amazing charts and all the DMO and everything that we have to make us successful as a team. Next is the law of addition. Leaders add value by serving others. That's definitely true. Number 6, the law of solid ground. Trust is the foundation of leadership. So I can't say really too much more on that. You got to trust your leader, or you're going to find someone else, definitely. And finally, number 7, the law of respect. People naturally follow leaders stronger than themselves. That's how the law of respect works. People don't follow others by accident. People who are innate in leadership don't look for a 6 to follow. And that goes true. You always want to follow a leader that definitely has the strength. And that's why, again, I also appreciate what Jared brings to this team as far as his leadership. All right. I'd like to bring on USANA Director Rene Martinez. Rene is on fire in San Antonio. Oh my gosh. You saw during the introductions, or we covered in the WAP and WIN, he is leading the charts this week. Him and his wife, Megan, I think has three great children in San Antonio. He owns a gym, worked in the oil fields. He's a very busy man, but he is finding the time to drive his USANA business to amazing heights. I'm expecting and seeing a lot from this dynamic duo, Rene and Megan. And so, Rene, welcome to tonight's training. Appreciate you helping us out covering the next 3 laws.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction.
You're welcome.
And I just want to throw a shout out to my team, DSI South Wolfpack. I wouldn't be doing any of this without you guys behind me. It's a team effort, and I love all you guys. So, Mr. Krebs just went over the 7 that we did last week, and I'm going to start off with number 8, and it's the law of intuition. And leaders evaluate everything with a leadership bias. So leaders are able to evaluate situations. They're able to sniff stuff out. They're able to see stuff that is going on within organizations, being good or bad. They don't necessarily need to read reports or anything like that. It's kind of like a gut feeling, and you kind of know something's going on. Without intuition, leaders get blindsided, and that's one of the most worst things that can happen. I know in the book, they talk about Steve Jobs, which is the guy who invented Apple. And whenever he invented Apple, it was going really good, and then he stepped away from the company, and they weren't doing so good, and they brought him back. And one of the intuitions that he had was pairing with their so-called arch enemy, Bill Gates. But with this leader's idea of pairing with Bill Gates, they were able to get the company out of debt. They were able to get the company out of debt, and they were able to, start making money again. And right after that, he had another intuitive leadership decision about making the iPod, which a lot of other companies turned away. And everybody knows, listening on this webinar, that the iPod is the biggest moneymaker that Apple has. So with that being said, intuition is a big part of being a leader, because you have to be able to see what's going on with your team. If there's something not right, you have to step in and you have to fix it. And if everything's going smooth, then you just step in and you give everybody pats on the back. And also, the last thing I'm going to say about this is the worst thing that can happen. If you don't have the intuition as a leader, you can be blindsided. And that's one of the worst things that can happen. If you want to lead long and lead well, you must build this skill. And all these skills that we talk about, all these skills that are in this book, nobody has them all down to the T. You always have to build, and you always have to learn, and you always have to better yourself. So now I'm going to go on to number 9. And I really like this one because it kind of changed me a lot whenever I read this book. And number 9 is the law of magnetism. And basically, who you are is who you attract. Let me repeat that. Who you are is who you attract. So effective leaders are always looking for good people. And real effective leaders, they have a mental list of who they're looking for. I know I'm always on the lookout for people like me, people like-minded in fitness and that just kind of are into a healthy lifestyle. And then the only thing missing is the USANA in front of that. USANA healthy lifestyle. It's anybody that's into fitness would be into this stuff. Anybody that's into taking care of themselves would be into this. And it's not just that. It could be somebody older, somebody younger. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm looking for. And my grandpa used to always tell me, and this goes back to, my grandpa used to always tell me that show show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. And that's a piece off of this, the law of magnetism, because if you're somebody who gets stuff done, if you're somebody who's always up in front, this and that, you're going to have people attracted to you that are like that. If you like to sit home and play video games all day and not get anything done, that's what you're going to attract. You're going to have people sitting next to you on the couch doing video games, not getting anything done. And also in the book, he talks about birds of a feather flock together. So that's another thing about the law of magnetism. If you're attracting people that you don't want to have, you need to take a step back and look at yourself, which I know that is the hardest thing to do, is to look at yourself. I mean, everybody's always so quick to, well, maybe it's because of this, or maybe it's because of that. And whenever I heard this law of magnetism, and I read the book and all this, it totally changed me to where I am personally committed to my team and everybody that I meet to completely build my leadership and my personal development, because I want to attract the best people to my USANA business. And now I'm going to go to law number 10, and that's the law of connection. And leaders touch hearts before they ask for your hand. So USANA products, I would say 95% of people that use USANA products, it's gonna change their lives. You know, especially if they're taking the vitamins, or they're taking a health pack, or they're doing something like that. That's gonna regain their health. It's gonna touch them. And with that being said, I want to bring up one of my associates, Dawn Morales. Well, she didn't jump into the business right away. She got on the products. I actually met her online, or she found me online. She would follow our gym, Viper Elite Fitness, and she just reached out. She had seen USANA on, excuse me, she had seen USANA on Dr. R, and she saw that we promoted it in our gym, and she asked about it, and I ended up signing her up over the phone, never met her, and she fell in love with the products. The products touched her, and she reached out. I reached out to her again, and I invited her to an actual skincare party. She came, used all the products, bought all of them because she fell in love with them. The products, I mean, she loved them. It touched her. So with that being said, after the products had touched her so much, she was ready to jump on the team. She was ready to be with us, you know, to share the products with all of her friends and everything. And also, defining moments of leaders talk about, let's see, and mine and Jared's story, you know, when I initially met Jared, I had no idea 2 years from then I would be sitting here talking on a webinar and having my own team and building this business. But you know what? That would have never happened if we hadn't connected. Because honestly, you know, we didn't connect at first because we're very opposite. And once I got to know him, once I got to see his values, once I got to see what he really, like how much he believed in this product, and then once I started building my belief in the product, I mean, the connection was there. And as soon as that was there, it was let's build it. And it's all about that law of connection, because if we would have never connected, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all. The law of connection is very, very important for your business, because you don't want to have somebody very, very special slip away from your team because you can't connect with them. And those are the 3 laws that I'm going to be covering. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Rene. Rene, Executive Goal Director, Mr. Crebs.
Thank you. Great job. Wow, I learned a lot. I mean, I've had to go back and review the book since Jared asked me to step in, and you knocked it out of the ballpark, my friend. Good job on covering those 3 laws. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to cover Law 11. Law 11 is the law of the inner circle, which is basically a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. And if those closest to him are strong, the leader can make a huge impact. They talked about in the book the 1977 Florida Marlins. You know, they put together an amazing team, amazing group of players, and together, based on great leadership, they won the World Series. And once they won, they disassembled that team. So they basically took the team and got rid of a lot of key players, and their inner circle basically fell back into the rank of mediocrity. So just basically, you know, surrounding yourself with leaders, or surrounding yourself with people that are powerful, you know, the having the right people in your inner circle, you know, spend time in your organization, and you'll see the people who have the potential value, those who raise themselves up, those who, like Rene and Megan, take off on their own and are building an amazing team already. Surround yourself with they have a positive value, those who raise the morale of the organization. We've got a lot of team members. I can think of a lot of them. The sweet lady that introduced me, Becky Armstrong, amazing. Just a lot of fun to be around. Just when she walks in the room, the whole room just, you can tell, is just raises based on her. She's an amazing sapphire. Just love to be around her. Surround yourself with people with personal value, those who raise up basically the leader themselves, those that have a production value, those that raise up others, not only in their team, but people that are part of Team DSI, and those that are proven, those that raise up people who raise up other people. So definitely there's a lot of people with those 5 values that are on your team. You know, the greatest value to any leader is someone who can raise up other leaders. And that's what I looked for. I think we all look for as leaders in USANA. We bring on people that all of a sudden can bring on other people, raise them as leaders who bring on leaders. We all have them on our teams. You can sit back and just count. We can count a number of those on Viola and ours team that definitely have that attribute. So with that, you know, if you want to lead well and stay ahead of others, you got to obey the law of the inner circle. So definitely one of the powerful ones where, you know, surround yourself with the high performers that extend your influence beyond your reach and help you grow and become better leaders. We look at Betty Myers, we look at Lisa Hughes, we look at Daryl Tuttle. Again, a number of our team that are powerful leaders themselves. Karen Stewart, they see it, and they have the leadership abilities of taking their team to that next level. Okay, the next law I want to cover is the law of empowerment. And basically, only secure leaders give powers to others. You know, it takes a leader to raise up a leader, and you know, basically, with that, it talked about in the book. Let me grab my notes here. You know, only secure leaders are the ones that give powers to others. They talked about Henry Ford. We always hear about Henry Ford from the Ford Motor Company. He founded the Ford Motor Company in 1903, and Henry himself developed the Model T car. Basically a car built for multitudes. And by 1914, the Model T via Ford had 50% of all the automobiles produced in the U.S. Had a great share of all the automobiles in the whole U.S. at that time. But Henry Ford did not embrace the law of empowerment. He was so in love with the Model T that he never wanted to change it or improve it. So without that, without raising up others, without empowering others, all that. So basically, a key to empowering others is a high belief in people. And we all see that with our USANA businesses as well. Again, I can mention the Betty Myers, the Daryl Tuttles, the Karen Stewarts. You can see that we want to empower those to be leaders. We want to empower everyone on our team, the Stephanie Giles, because with that empowerment, they will basically take and develop the leaders. You can't do it all as a leader, basically. You have to empower others, and that's what I truly appreciate with the Team DSI system. It is a simple system that definitely strange as it sounds, great leaders gain that authority by giving it away. And that is so true. When you bring on a new associate into this business, you want to train them, you want to teach them to be successful, and you want to see them fly. If you aspire to be a great leader, you must live by the law of empowerment. Okay, the next law I want to cover is the law of the pitcher. And that one, hold on one second, is people do what people see. When leaders show the way with their right actions, the followers copy their good examples and succeed. We definitely, as Jared and Crystal, Viola, and I, we would not have anyone on our teams do anything that you don't see us doing day in and day out. From our DMO, from reading our material to, getting out there and at least sharing the USANA video or Jared's video to 2 people. Definitely, great leaders are both highly visionary and highly practical, because you don't want to have a system that's so complex that no one can do it. Again, appreciate what Jared has built with the Team DSI system, because it is simple and it is easy. The vision of the vision helps them see beyond the immediate. They can envision what's coming and what must be done. Leaders possess and understand how the mission provides the purpose, answering the why question. The vision provides a picture, answering the what question, and the strategy provides the plan, answering the how question. So definitely, as you strive to become a better leader, to become a better example to your followers, remember these things. Followers are always watching what you do. That is so true. I have a 2-year-old grandson that I'll sit and dance with my hands in my pockets. He'll sit there and put his hands in his pockets and dance. It's fun to watch, but it's easier to teach what's right than to do what's right. So true. We can sit there and preach what a good system we have, but without us physically doing it, nothing basically is more convincing than people who are given good advice and set a good example as the leader. We should work on changing ourselves before trying to improve others. That's basically back to the law number one, the law of the lid. And then finally, the most valuable gift a leader can give is being a good example. More than anything else, employees want their leaders whose belief and actions line up. Leadership is more caught than taught. That is so true. So how does one catch leadership? By watching good leaders in action. And finally, law number 14, the law of the buy-in. And let me grab my other notes. Basically, people buy into the leader. So people buy into the leader than the vision. So some leaders have it all backwards. They believe that if the cause is good enough, people will follow, and will automatically buy in to that vision. However, people at first don't follow a worthy cause. That is not true. They follow worthy leaders who promote worthwhile causes. People buy into the leader first, and then the leader's vision. And if you think of that, as a leader, you don't earn any points, for failing in a noble cause. You don't get any credit for being right. Your success is measured by your ability to actually take the people where they need to go. So that's where the people actually buy into the leader itself. But you can only do that if the people first buy into you as a leader. And that is so true. Back in my aerospace days, when I was a director of operations, people will not just follow you based on a title. They may have to respect, but they will not follow you based on your particular title. You need to gain that trust with the people, show that you're willing to do what you're speaking, and then set the vision. And with that, they follow. Same way with what we're doing with USANA. We have a system that we've put together, but you need to trust our leader. I trust Jared is definitely showing us the right way to have a successful business, and it proves it. We've achieved the rank of executive gold based on following Jared and his systems for 11 years now, and we appreciate him as not only a person, but as a great leader, and definitely enjoy working with and following the systems that we put together. So once you've reached the capacity and time and energy, the only way you can increase your impact is through others. Surround yourself with the high performers that extend your influence beyond your reach to help you become a better leader. So that's as far as I want to go tonight. Then Jared will be covering the next laws next week. Here are basically all 21 Irrefutable Laws by John C. Maxwell, Laws of Leadership. We've gone through Law 14, so next week we'll be covering the last of the 21 laws. So with that, thank you so much for attending tonight's training, and we look forward to seeing you on upcoming trainings.